Welcome to this gear episode of Solarpunk Life. Today we're going to talk about and we're going to deep dive into some solar lights. This episode was inspired by a gear recommendation sent in by friend of the show, friend of the movement, Dave Kovak. Thank you for your recommendation, Dave. Dave actually recommended a flashlight that he likes and that he used, and he wanted to check it out. So we bought it, we played with it, and now we're going to talk about it. So rather than just do one light, we're going to do four. Each of these lights is a good light and functions within their purpose. We kind of wanted to run them to the max. So that's what we're doing. We're going to deep dive on all of these lights. We've taken them out, we've tested them, we've charged them up, we've let them decharge, we shine the lights in each other's eyes, what we could do with the lights we did. And we're going to talk about them for you. So these are some recommendations that we have for you guys. Our first light is the GoalZero Solar Crushlight. It is a collapsible solar-powered lantern. It's lightweight, puts out 60 lumens of usable light on high, and it boasts a 35-hour runtime on low. It collapses to just over a half an inch, so it's pretty good for storage. The Crushlight boasts a 2.5-hour charge time on USB. And if you're using the solar panel, it's 20 hours. Manufacturer runtimes are on high power, 3 hours, on medium power, 6 hours, and the low power and the candlelight setting are about 3.5 hours. Our next lantern is from LUCI. It's the original mpowered inflatable solar light. So check this out. It's a lightweight inflatable solar lantern. I'm going to blow it up here real quick. All right, that's enough. It's lightweight, it's inflatable, it's a solar lantern. It boasts up to 65 lumens of light, lasts up to 24 hours on a single charge, and it boasts a recharge time of about 7 hours. All right, it's pretty durable. It withstands up to 150 pounds of pressure. It's lightweight. It's only about 4 ounces. It's waterproof. It says it can operate in temperatures of 32 degrees up to 113 degrees Fahrenheit, or 0 degrees to 45 degrees Celsius for those of you in Europe. Hi, Denmark. Sorry. This is our only light that does not have a wall plug. This is strictly use the panel. But we're Solarpunk Life. Let's use a solar panel. Next, we have ZTARX LED PAQ inflatable solar-powered camping lantern. Actually, this is pretty cool. You could fill it up with air, and it is an inflatable lantern. It also works as a dry bag for when you're not using it. So you just pull it down, and boom, you got a little lantern. All right, and lastly, Dave's recommendation of the NPET 09 solar flashlight. This thing's a beast. It's got 7 working modes. Its headlight works for 4 to 6 hours. It's got a white light side lamp that goes to about 7 hours and a red side lamp that runs for about 6 hours. It's got a built-in lithium-ion battery that can be charged from the USB cable into the wall. It takes about 4 to 5 hours or about 30 hours if you use its solar panel. All right, solar panel is right here. This thing, like I said, is a hoss. It has a window breaker, a magnet, so if you want to just hang this on your work shelf or whatever. Again, the lights comes apart here. Here's the USB, and it's got a compass. It's also a little heavy. It feels about like a normal flashlight of this size would feel with the batteries in it. So it's pretty hard. And we have, you know, the normal cords and hangings that come with a flashlight. Our first test was placing all the lights outside in a good sunny space. We let the lights charge via their solar panels for 2 hours and 8 minutes. We then brought them inside, turned them on to their highest settings, and waited for them to dim. The first light that died was the GoalZero Crushlight at 16 minutes. Next up was the NPET flashlight at 23 minutes. These lights also have the smallest solar panels of the group. The ZTARX pack light kicked the bucket next at 36 minutes. The light that stayed on the longest was the LUCI, which stayed on for 1 hour and 40 minutes. Remember, this was the light designed only for solar charging, which probably means the solar panel is more efficient than the others. For our next test, we charged the lights to what we believe was their maximum charge, and again turned them on to their highest settings to see which lasted the longest. For this run, we charged the Crushlight, the NPET, and the pack light using their USB cords. The LUCI was charged using its panel. Comment on this video with the light you think lasted the longest, and after a couple of days, we'll comment with the results.
So Jason, we set the task here for us to review solar-powered flashlights. Our friend Dave asked us to look at one in particular. We decided to go with 4.
Because that's how we do things.
Because that's how we do things.
Excessively.
And the key thing is that they all had to have solar panels. They all had to be solar in some way because, hey, Solarpunk. But overall, I've had these. I've had them in my possession. You're kind of seeing them for the first time. To a certain extent, you're getting to really play with them today and get your impressions. So we've gone over the specs. We've reviewed their performance. But what's your impression of them as individual objects? You know, would you use them? What would you recommend?
If you're asking me right now, best of the group. All right, best of the group's the Crushlight. As far as I think, the best of the groups is Crushlight. It's compact. It's the most durable, well-made of all of them. As far as the seamage around the sides and just general storage, this is the best that we have. It's flat. It handles itself well. It's durable. Now, we've seen on the lights that we've seen how well they perform, but it is a smaller light. I don't need anything fancy, and that really doesn't fancy to me. It's basic. It does what it says it's going to do, and that's that.
One of its selling points when I was looking for it, because this is the one that I purchased for myself after research, was that you can pop it up at an angle here to gather more solar. So it's kind of got its own positioning there. I also really like that it has a lot of anchor points. You can hang it from its handle. You can clip it with these side clips to, you know, some paracord or hang it. We used this when we went camping as our kitchen light.
In a pinch, you can collect things in it if you really want to do that. But ultimately, we have other things for that.
I was pretty disappointed with its results in the solar charging area, but it has a very small solar panel, and really that's an emergency feature. It's not really intended to be charged that way all the time, which is why it has the power plug.
Yeah, so like I said, of the 4, that's my favorite. There might be something better out there, but of the ones we looked at, I kind of lean toward the Crushlight. The one I don't like is the LUCI.
Oddly enough, that's the one that performed the best.
Which
in the
is
solar
the
panel.
one that, which sucks, because that is the one that performed the best. But it's awkward. And it's seamy, and it feels like a pool toy. The panel's nice and big, and whoever designed it had the right frame of mind, but it's top heavy when it's fully inflated. It's top heavy. It rocks back and forth. The seams hurt. You can cut yourself on that. I don't want that. And the bottom, when you plug the inflator in, the valve in, it sits awkwardly on both sides. It just, I think good intentions, poor planning on this one. And like I said, it's a shame because it is the one that performed the best of all of our lights.
This one came to us through one of those Gear of the Month clubs. That's how we acquired this one. It is pretty much designed for last-ditch effort emergency situations.
I don't even want to put that in my pack.
And that's fair. That's fair. But that is why I think it has such good performance. It's designed for being in maybe a larger first aid kit or something like that where you keep it in your car all the time. To be honest,
if this were mine and this were something we used all the time, this plastic would go. I'd cut the hell out of that and just have the disc. Just have the disc light. Just have it the way it's supposed to be. I wouldn't be messing with anything else.
I was kind of disappointed that this one had the best performance because I would like to get this performance
Well, LUCI has other lights. This is their mini, their mini, like the small, oh crap, tuck it in your pants and roll type thing. So maybe we'll look into some other things from them and see what they have going on. And like I said, this is just their mini. It's not their full thing. This guy is 100% something that I have no use for. None. I've already got dry bags. All right. I've already got hanging lanterns. I've already got all that packed away. Why do I need another one? Why do I need to inflate this thing and hang it somewhere? Why do I need to fill it with water? It just seems way too much for me.
This one, the one thing that weirded me out about this one that I thought was strange was that the charging plug is on the outside. For a dry bag, it seemed like that should be on the inside.
This, and Dave, I love you, buddy. I really do. This is garbage. And he's gonna, what the hell, man? I see why you liked this, and I see why you threw this at us. Again, I have tools already in my gear repertoire that do all of these individual things. I use a Stinger flashlight. Shout out to Stinger. It's got batteries. It's also rechargeable, and it's heavy enough. I don't need the glass break. I know this is geared toward like, hey, stick this in your car. Mm-hmm. But most of us, and if you're starting out in Solarpunk, that's great. But a lot of us are already experienced campers. A lot of us are already experienced with how we do things. We've already got stuff in the car that's going to handle this.
Right.
That mag light alone, that Stinger light alone is heavy enough to break most glass. Things to cut, I'm wearing that right here. I've got my knife. I don't go anywhere else. I don't go anywhere without my knife. Or if I don't need the long knife, I've got a multi-tool already on my side. Compass is, I mean, it's not super...
Like I said, I'm very skeptical of any compass that is included on something else.
Yeah, and I do like, the one thing I do like is this, where you have your USB and your micro plug at the bottom. Yeah. That might be why there's a cap there. So you throw a little compass on the cap, it looks cool. All right. It's bright. Don't get me wrong. As a flashlight, this thing... If we take away all the handy-dandy doodads that roll away, as a flashlight, I like it. I'd wear it. But that's, I mean...
Well, and frankly, if you're going to include a compass on an object...
Make it a good one.
Having it be removable is smart, because now I can use the flashlight and the compass.
But that looks like something, it looks like a Chuck E. Cheese prize.
It's not a great
You know,
compass.
I'm going to turn in a bunch of tickets. I'm going to get 900 Tootsie Rolls. I'm going to get a little army man with the parachute. Those things are fun, and I'm going to get a fake compass. It looks like that.
The other thing that weirded me out about this flashlight in particular was how you changed modes. Was these long presses or short presses on the power button. So you've got kind of the spotlight mode, which has got, first of all, I hate blinky spotlight modes. That's an immediate turnoff for me.
Well, that's an old tactic. The flash,
it has a purpose.
It has a purpose, but the cycling is where we have the issue.
Drives me crazy. I'd like to have, back in when I was a kid, we had a flashlight where you had a slider switch that told you whether it was blinky, and that was great. I don't care for one button cycle through flashlight.
I don't really like a one button cycle through on any of my products, whether it's a household thing, flashlight. It's too much. God, it could be worse. This could be a lot worse. It could be one of those old green bendy flashlights. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
With all the little, the lenses that came with it and 900 batteries, and it I don't know. It always reminds me of a jar of peanut butter for some reason. I don't know. It's weird.
It's weird.
Jason's weird.
Yeah, Jason's weird.
So that's where we are. I like I said, of the four we have, I'm gonna recommend you check out the Crushlight. I recommend you check them all out. We wouldn't have done this if it suits your needs. Check it out. But I like the Crushlight. You can get them smaller. Can you get them smaller? Is that the smallest one? Or
the GoalZero sells some other lights. This I think is the most economical one for the size that we
get. You can get them bigger.
And they also sell bigger solar panels for sure, and other tools. I've got a couple of products from them we're going to probably get into showing at some point. But they also sell a version of the Crushlight that comes with colored lights. So RGB, this is just the white one. Mm-hmm. I think this one was $19, $20.
$20.
The color one was like 25.
And for the price points of each of these are around $20. I think you're getting the best bang for your buck, design-wise, quality-wise, in the Crushlight. I honestly do. This one, it's like Wonder Wings. You used to put on, water wings.
It does.
Put on your.
That's exactly what it is. It reminds me of it.
And then even if I fall out of a canoe or a boat, I'm not holding on to this. I'm inflating my pants or something because this isn't going to do me any good.
No, it's that same kind of vinyl feel to it, and the valve
smells funky. You know how it smells. The vinyl smells weird.
The valve is terrible. I can't get it. It's unpleasant to fully inflate this. It's just that's what it comes down to. It is unpleasant to use. So I agree with you. We might take the plastic off this and just keep the LED part of it. But
so there's our opinions. Take it or leave it. Yell at us in the comments. I don't know. But
send us suggestions for other things you'd like to see us review, and Jason and I will get to argue about it on camera.
Cool.
Yeah. This has been another gear segment.
I'll be back to close it out.
Finger guns.
That's the end of our lights episode. Hopefully you saw something you liked. If you look in the description, we'll have links to where you can buy these for yourselves. Stay tuned. We have some awesome content coming for you in the near future. We're going to be back on location with our friends at Small Axe Farms. We have a really good community action coming up to do as the seasons change. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button, to like us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of the products that we featured today have been purchased by Joe and I for the purpose of showing you. And the reviews are strictly our opinions. If you'd like to see more gear episodes like this, or if you'd like to help us produce more episodes in general, we set up a GoFundMe. Every little bit helps. As always, do good, be good. Bowser out.